Hello bakers! Today's bakery recipe is vanilla bean cake with raspberry filling. It's so soft, moist, and fluffy with a delicious vanilla flavor from the vanilla bean paste, and it's perfectly complemented with the tart raspberry compote. We'll start by whisking our dry ingredients of flour, instant clear gel, which is a type of cornstarch, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. We're going to sift and whisk these together, and the instant clear gel is going to allow the cake to retain more moisture while keeping it very soft and light. Now we're going to stir together our wet ingredients of buttermilk, water, vanilla bean paste, and apple cider vinegar. I'm using Olive Nation vanilla bean paste for this recipe, and thank you to Olive Nation for sponsoring this video. Now it's time to start creaming our butter and sugar together. Then we'll add vegetable oil and corn syrup, which both help with the moisture, texture, and rise of the cake. Then we'll blend in 1 egg, and we want to avoid overbeating at every step. Alternate adding your dry and wet ingredients about 1/3 at a time while the mixer is on low. This will come together quite quickly since you already have your dry and wet ingredients mixed. Now it's time to whip our egg whites. We're going to whip egg whites and cream of tartar until stiff peaks form. Fold the egg whites into your cake batter 1/2 at a time using large round strokes. We'll be pouring the cake batter into a 1/4 sheet pan, which is the perfect size for cutting out 3 layers of a 6-inch cake with cake rings. You can also double the recipe to make an 8-inch cake or bake the cake in round pans. I prefer to bake this way because it makes a very even bake with no dark edges. While the cake is baking, make a raspberry compote from frozen raspberries. We'll be using my favorite bakery ingredient again, instant clear gel mixed with sugar. Then we'll add our frozen raspberries, more sugar, and lemon juice to a pan. Once the raspberries come to a boil and are soft and your desired size, remove your pan from heat and then add your instant clear gel sugar mixture and it will thicken it instantly. Allow your compote to cool. Once your baked cake has cooled, brush it with simple syrup and then wrap and freeze your cake for at least 2 hours or overnight. The cake will be so much easier to layer when it's cold or frozen, and it doesn't affect the moisture at all. The fluffy vanilla bean buttercream contains cream cheese, salted butter, and of course, vanilla bean paste. Now that my cake is cold, I'm going to cut out 3 6-inch layers. We'll be piecing together the bottom layer, using the cake ring as a guide. Because dark colored berries can discolor the cake, we're going to add a thin layer of buttercream to make it less noticeable. Put a ring of buttercream around the edge and fill each layer with a generous amount of delicious raspberry compote filling. Anytime that you're worried about your cake stability, just stick it in the freezer for a few minutes. I always recommend frosting a crumb coat around the cake to catch all the crumbs, then freezing it for 10 minutes before adding the final coat of buttercream. I decided to go with a smooth, rustic texture by going back and forth with my offset spatula on the sides of the cake. For the top of the cake, I decided to do a white-on-white design with several star tips and a leaf tip because I really wanted those little vanilla bean specks to shine through. I think you're really going to love this cake because it's so soft, moist, and fluffy, and that tart raspberry filling really complements the vanilla flavor. The recipe and all the methods I mentioned are linked below. I hope you enjoy the recipe, and thanks for watching!